How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be starting our MLB The Show 19 ratings prediction series as we do every single year. We will go through all the positions. I'll be giving you guys my top 10 players for every single position. A couple things to keep in mind is MLB The Show ratings are typically lower than what they are when they end a year from when they start. There's a lot of guys like Mike Trout, the 99s. I think Mike Trout was a 94 to start last year. He's a 99 now, so keep that in mind. They do get lower. That's why you see the lower overalls. And do keep in mind that we don't really mess with the positions too much. I know there's like guys like Hoskins. I think there's a lot of talk of him playing first base this year, but he's currently an outfielder in the game, which means we're going to leave him in the outfield in the game because he'll probably have to play a few games until they switch that over the show. So for that reason, we'll just kind of, technicality reason, just get that out there. Probably won't have him on the list, but there are a few guys that aren't going to make the list that I did like as well. Eric Hosmer, Justin Smoke, Jerko, Brandon Bell, all missed the list, all pretty close to making the list. But we're starting off with number 10 with Matt Olson. A surprise to some maybe, but I had to get him on here. 29 home runs, 84 RBIs, 247 average last year. I like Olson squeaking into the list for a couple of reasons. One, he won the Gold Glove last year. That's going to help his stats. And two, he does have some nice power numbers, and that can go a long way. I think he gets a 79 overall. Number 9 is Max Muncy, another young stud hitter coming through that Dodger organization. It's incredible the hitters they get coming up through there. Muncy hit 35 bombs, drove in 79 last season. He's also showing some great discipline for his first full season at the plate, walking 79 times. We're going to give him an 80 overall. Number 8 is Ryan Zimmerman. Now, Zimmerman definitely did not have the season he was looking for coming off that career year, but injuries happened, unfortunately. But he still went out there and had 15 home runs and 50 RBIs in that half a season he did play. And hey, if he plays all season, he may go out there and repeat the season from previous. Unfortunately, he didn't get that chance, but hopefully he gets that chance this season in 2019. We're going to give him an 81 overall. Number 7 is Jesus Aguilar. What a season for this man. His second full season in the biggies, and it was a big breakout one too. 35 home runs, 108 RBIs, 274 average. I like him at number 7. I like him at an 81. Number 6 is Jose Abreu. Definitely not a season Abreu was looking for either. His first season of his career under 100 RBIs and under 25 home runs. But again, the injury bug came strolling along, and he did miss a little over, 30 games? We always have to take into consideration what a player could have done had he actually went out there and played those 30 games. And for that, I think you have to still let Abreu stay right around at 82 overall where he was last season. Number 5 is Miguel Cabrera. Miggy started MLB The Show 18 at an 82 overall after having a year he would have definitely liked to forget. And although he looked to be on the path of having a bounce back season, he only played 38 games. And in my opinion, he didn't play enough for Sony to say, hey, he deserves a big bump to the upside, and nor did he do anything to say, hey, I deserve to get a lower downgrade. So we're going to keep him right at that 82 overall again. Number 4 is Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo looks to have plateaued, and that's not a bad thing. He's plateaued at a high level of play, but he's been around 100 RBIs, 30 home runs, 280 average for the last 4 seasons. Now, the difference this season, he only had 25 home runs and he had 20 less walks. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but in the name of finding a reason to give him an upgrade from the season prior, it is a little bit of a hurdle. For that reason, Rizzo's still a fantastic player, but I think he slides in there and remains an 85 overall, much like he was the season before. Number 3 is Joey Votto. Votto came into MLB The Show as the highest rated first baseman, and deservedly so, as he came off statistically the best season of his career. This season, a little bit different. He missed some games to injury, but more importantly, he's just in an absolute shot in the arm power numbers wise, dropping all the way down to 16 home runs, 67 RBIs. But even with all of that, he still remains the most disciplined hitter in baseball, and he still did finish top 3 in the Gold Glove voting, both of which will brace the fall of his overall from going down too much. I think he gets an 85 overall. How about number 2 is Freddie Freeman. I love seeing the way Freddie Freeman's been playing lately. Freeman's coming off arguably the best season of his career, hitting 23 home runs, driving in 98 and batting .309. But he also brought home a Gold Glove. And we really are just splitting hairs at the top of this list. So much talent between all of these guys. A case could be made, honestly, for all of them to be number 1. But again, I think the power numbers are what inevitably keep Freddie Freeman off the top spot and then at 86 overall. That's always the thing to keep in mind with these ratings as well. We're trying to predict baseball game ratings, not real life who's real life the number 1 first baseman, not real life who's number 2, but their ratings based on their statistics of performance in real life. And that's why we're back at number 1 with the one and the only Paul Goldschmidt. I love me some Paul Goldschmidt. He came into MLB The Show 18 at an 86 overall, which is a debatable overall to say the least, but something that has to be heavily considered when you look at that 33 home run, 83 RBI, 298 batting average stat line he put out there in 2018, because that's a pretty solid drop off from 2017. You throw on that career high 173 strikeouts, he's not helping his case. I still have a hard time believing, though, he sees any sort of downgrade, because there's still, at the end of the day, that's a solid stat line. Now, I could arguably see lower. The thing is with first baseman is there isn't somebody running out there batting through, dropping 35 bombs, 110 RBIs, a 300 average. That just screams number one. So like I said, these top four guys, you could really make the debate between any of them being 1, 2, 3, 4. They're so interchangeable. We're seeing some younger guys come up at first base as well. Usually, though, those younger guys do have to prove themselves a little bit more before they just get slapped with a very high overall. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts. I'd like to hear some of the guys you would have in your top 10 first basemen. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.